Hey there, my name is Bio and welcome to part 1 of my 5-part series on Glover's block and inspiration. Now first I'm going to go over a few abstract concepts about what constitutes inspiration and Glover's block and things like that generally. Firstly, inspiration I would say is either gaining, well, I'll demonstrate it with these Lego blocks. Okay, first you have 2 Lego blocks, and you can combine these in a few ways, like this, or a certain number of ways. But eventually you're going to run out of ways to combine them, or ways that you can think of how to combine them. And this is when you reach a slump, or Glover's block. And one form of inspiration is thinking of a new way to combine the existing blocks that you already have, and this would be changing your perspective. So if you change your perspective, you can think of new ways to combine the blocks that you hadn't thought of before. But eventually, even then, you're going to get to a stage where you've combined the blocks in all ways possible. And this is the stage where the only way you can get more moves and continue progressing is by introducing a third block. And this would be the inspiration based on gaining new knowledge or new moves. So let's say you have 2 gloving moves, you have whips and you have finger rolls, and you can combine these in different ways, and you've got about 3 ways that you can combine these so far that you've thought of. But then you watch somebody's show and they combine it in a way that you haven't seen before, or you get inspired by something you see on television or something, I don't know, and you think of new ways to combine finger rolls and whips. And then after you've done every way you can think of combining finger rolls and whips, you have to learn new moves like digits or flails or tutting or something to add to your list of skills and knowledge base that you have. Now, I think inspiration from people can come in 2 forms, and the first form is using your perspective or your knowledge of how to combine bricks or moves, as it were, on somebody else's knowledge or moves. So your perspective, somebody else's knowledge, and that's expanding a concept. You see somebody else do a move or a concept, and you see the ways in which you can incorporate it into your moves that you already know, or the ways in which you can expand the concept, advance it, apply it in other places, stuff like that. And for a demonstration of expanding a concept or using your own perspective on somebody else's moves, I'm going to use a move that I saw Rhapsode do, and his channel is in the video description. You can check it out, subscribe to him, whatever, cool stuff, he's pretty good. And so I was watching one of his shows the other day, and I was going along, you know, like how you do. I was like, yeah, that's good, yeah, and then suddenly I was like, whoa, because I saw a move that I really liked, and it was this one, like this. And then I thought about for a while why I liked that move, and I replayed it a few times, and I liked the idea of using his other hand to knock the wave back and forwards like this. And I liked that concept a lot, and so I was thinking about it, and I was seeing in which ways I could apply to it to moves that I myself can already do. And so first I looked at the move itself, and it's like, I think he did it like this. And then I thought, what if I did it with fingers splayed out? What if I used my middle finger to knock this one down and then travel back up with that one? And then what if I did it sideways? What if I did it like this? Or something more graceful, I don't know. Or what if I did it like this? Something like that, I don't know. But that would be expanding a concept and applying your perspective, or in this case mine, to somebody else's moves. Now the second way in which you can be inspired by other people is using somebody else's perspective or their way of looking at things on your own moves. And I get stuck a lot in static positions in gloving, like this. When I'm in a position like this, I don't know what to do. I often freeze up and I can't get into the flowing, which I find easy to do whatever stuff that I want to do. And so when I'm in a position like this and I don't know what to do, I ask myself, what would Dylan do? Now, otherwise known as Fry, he likes his thumbs a lot, and so if I was to use his perspective, I would try to think like him. And he emphasizes thumb movements, and he likes thumbs a lot. And I try to get inside his head a bit and think about how he would approach a situation like this. And so I like swimming, I like cats, I like red and blue, and my thumbs are lightsabers. What do I do? Well, normally when I'm in a static position, I'd do something like this. I'd move my fingers around, I'd do like this, but that dries up pretty quickly. So how could I use my thumbs in a case like this? I could use them like this, push my fingers away with my thumbs. I could do that, this, that, I don't know. And then I could do my thumbs here, thumbs up there, thumbs here, thumbs here, thumbs here. And so I'm trying to think like Fry would. And, oh yeah, I should mention that his channel is also in the description. Check it out, subscribe, he's pretty cool too. And so I try to use my thumbs now, and try to think, okay, what would he do in this kind of position? And he likes impact, so maybe he'd go like this. Do, do, red or blue, red or blue. He'd go like this, something, 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 impacts, I don't know. But just trying to think like somebody else, even though it's probably not accurate in the way that they would be thinking, just trying to think like somebody else is just trying to think like somebody else is giving yourself a new perspective. So even if my idea of what Fry would do in this situation is incorrect, it's still a new perspective because it's my perspective of what his perspective is in my perspective. Kinda, I don't know. But yeah, try to think like other people, and don't just limit it to glovers. Try to think like, how would Batman glove? I don't know. How would Spider-Man glove? What would Obama glove like? What would a policeman glove like? What would a soldier glove like? I don't know. But try to think outside the box. Try to think how different people would glove, what they would do in different situations or with different moves, and try to use as many perspectives as you can. And then advanced stuff would be like using someone else's perspective on somebody else's moves. So if you had Rhapsode's move, which was like this, do 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 do, and then combined it with Fry's Shaka, I don't know how to do that correctly, you'd probably get something like this, or something, I don't know, that's stupid, I don't know. But yeah, concepts, gloving, stuff, things, yeah. Okay, to summarize, I would say, first thing is using other people's concepts, not their moves. If you use their moves, then you're not progressing yourself in any way, you're making your moves stagnant, your show becomes static and stale, and you're not developing your own unique expression of who you are in your shows, and there's no originality there or progression of art form, blah 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 stuff. And so expanding other people's concepts, getting inspired by the moves they do, that's one way of trying to overcome a slump or glover's block. And then the second way would be, well, the second way involving people is trying to think like other people try to think how other people would use your moves that you can already do. So try to think like even people who don't glove, like, I don't know, people, things, stuff, things, people. Try to think like other glovers. How would someone else, like a glover that you already know, someone whose style you know very well, do one of your moves? What spin would they put on it? Even if you are not correct, which you most likely won't be, it will be changing your perspective and forcing you to do a move in a different way, in a way that you don't usually do. And because of that, it would be expanding the way in which you do a move, or creating new moves, stuff like that. So, inspiration from other people, inspiring concepts, thinking like other people with the moves that you can already do. So, using your perspective on somebody else's moves, using somebody else's perspective on your moves. You can also ask, if you know other glovers, that you can also ask for how their opinion on moves that you do, or in often cases, feedback. Some people give really good feedback, and you could say, what would you do if you what would you do in a situation like this? How would you move from this? What would you usually transition into? And then you can use their perspective to give yourself new moves, if that makes sense. I don't know. Okay, thank you for watching. Sorry this one's been a little choppy. Lots of pauses, I guess. I'll try to make next week's better, maybe include a script or something. Next week we do inspiration from objects. Should be fun. Stay tuned, subscribe, awesome sauce. See you next week.